right, joining us now is Alamogordo Tigers head football coach AJ Cisco. Coach, how are you today?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me in again.
Well, it's certainly been a tough couple weeks for you guys, certainly on the defensive end, and it doesn't get any easier this week, unfortunately, with Centennial coming into town. We know how difficult this district is, but there's no sympathy. You guys just got to strap it on and get ready for this week, right?
Yeah, nobody's going to feel sorry for us. We don't feel sorry for us, and we don't expect anybody to in that same regard. But it is a tough district, and I told you that from the start of the year. This district might have more. It's as comparable to the Rio Rancho district, top to bottom, as any other district in 6A. And so we haven't played well defensively 2 weeks in a row now. And, I mean, we could probably back that up for 4 weeks now if we go all the way back to Riverside. You just take away a half. And so that's something that we've had to focus on, and we've really had to go back to basics to try to figure out what we can do defensively to keep us in games and give us a shot.
Yeah, for the first time last week, I really noticed tackling was a challenge for you guys. You really had to get guys in open field tackles, and it just wasn't happening for you against Hobbs.
No, and that's a credit to Coach Stevens and Hobbs, man. They came up with a scheme that they haven't really run all year and focused on it, and then that's what they hung their hat on, and they got after us. And it was a good scheme to attack some vulnerabilities we have, and that's credit to them being well coached and having good athletes, and their kids played well, and we did not. And so credit to them for executing, and Hobbs was a lot better than us last Friday night.
And offensively, you guys were able to eventually start moving the ball right there at the beginning of the half. You got things going. Probably the key turning point of the game is when you guys get the interception and unfortunately can't go down the field and score on that drive.
And I mean, nobody knows what that game's going to change into, but we can't get in shootouts. We don't want to be in shootouts where we got to go score for score with people. We got to be able to get stops and focusing on getting turnovers, forcing people to punt. That's who we are. I mean, we're a team that's still going to be trying to be built on defense. We don't want to be in shootouts scoring 60 points and doing that. That's not who we are, and that's not our identity. So, I mean, offensively, we didn't play very well either. I mean, and that's a credit to Hobbs. I mean, they're big, they're strong, and they're well coached, and they got after us. So we had our moments where we looked okay offensively and were able to do things, and then we had moments where it was a 3-and-out and we had to punt it, and then we couldn't make any plays defensively to get back off the field. So, I was pleased with our kids for continuing to play. I mean, that's one thing I love our kids do. They'll fight, and they'll play. But we got to be able to get off the field defensively, and then we got to be able to sustain drives more often.
And, I mean, there are obviously a couple of positive things. DeAndre, again, had a long touchdown reception. He also had a big interception, which we now know has put him at the...
That is now the career record holder for interceptions for the high school.
So he has 11 now for his
11
career.
Right now for his career.
Okay, so obviously hoping to put some more distance between that before he finishes it off. And then Anthony had another really solid game. I thought both, defensively, there were a couple of really nice tackles that I thought he made, and he had to be out there on an island a lot defending. And then, of course, running the ball again, he was very good on Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, and Dre's made plays for us on both sides of the ball all year. The balance is to make sure he's going to play every snap on defenses to get him some rest offensively, and we've had some kids that come in and stepped in and have filled that role. But when it's crucial time, Dre's going to be in there at slot and give us some, and he adds another dynamic to us. And Anthony does what Anthony does, man. He plays every snap defensively, and then we have to rest him offensively. But he's the bell cow. I mean, he's the explosive one that does things and can hit holes, and he does do some things that are wrong offensively, and you just live with it because of his athletic talent. But I mean, offensive line wise, we did an okay job. I was certainly not pleased with how we played. I thought we didn't execute the screen game very well when we had to, and so I mean, we got a lot of stuff we got to work on playing the number 2 team in the state this week.
Yeah, so you get a Centennial team that, obviously early in the season they picked up a couple losses, right? Or they only on one loss this season?
They got 2.
2, okay, that's what I thought.
Cleveland and Franklin.
Franklin, okay. I was trying to, because I know they beat La Cueva, right?
They beat La Cueva, yeah.
Yeah, that's it's been a long season, I guess. Anyway, obviously they've gone perfect in district so far. They've got you guys and they've got Las Cruces to finish up the season. They don't have some of their players from last year. Maybe they were probably better last season, at least on the line, but man, they're still very, very good this year.
They're extremely athletic. The Lucas kid that's a receiver is one of the better ones in the state. They did graduate all their linemen up front offensively, and they're just going to replace them with other kids that are going to be really good, and then it's a very good offensive line. Quarterback's back. The Hernandez kid who's very dynamic and running the football and throwing it. and they got a big transfer in from I forgot where he came from as a running back, and he's a good-looking kid. I mean, so offensively, they're not going to change their scheme or what they do. They're going to be who they are. Skill-wise, they might throw the ball a little bit more this year with the Lucas kid out there, but that running back he's a load. I mean, he's not nearly as dynamic as the Gutierrez kid they had last year, but this kid's a load. I mean, he's a dude. And defensively, I mean, there's dudes everywhere. I mean, and they're really well coached. Coach Ocampo and then Coach Labyrin do a good job with that. And they got a Division I kid in number 10. And then Sierra, and then they got another Division I kid that's a sophomore in Peely. I mean, so they're extremely talented group. It's going to be our handful on Friday night.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you look at last year. You guys hung with them for a while, and I mean, it's a kind of a daunting task. You guys know that the kids know how good Centennial is, but so you kind of just got to wipe that out of your mind and not worry about it and try to execute and do the things you do well, right?
Yeah, and we don't. I mean, even in Hobbs when it was 35-7 at halftime and we came out and scored right away on the first 2 possessions, we tell our kids, man, we're not playing against the scoreboard. We're playing for our identity. We're playing for who we are. We're continuing to establish the foundation of this football program and the toughness aspect of it. I mean, we're going to go in there, and if we play really well on Friday night, we're going to have a shot to win, and that's our goal, is to come out with a victory and punch our ticket into the playoffs and cement it. But we've got to do that, and that task is a difficult task, playing a really good team in Centennial. But, I mean, we're not shying away from it. We're not scared of it. I mean, let's bring them on, and let's play well on Friday, and we've got a lot to prove to a lot of people.
And also worth mentioning, it is senior night. It's the final home game of the year. You guys have, is it 20 seniors?
20 seniors.
20 seniors going into Friday night. And, of course, the nice thing as well is you guys recognize the athletic trainers, the cheerleaders. Mm-hmm. I know the band does their stuff at halftime, where they leave the shoes on the field and do all that. It's just, I think, we're obviously very much caring about what happens in the football game, but there is something about being recognized and putting in the work that all these kids have put in across all those different programs.
Yeah, and like senior night's not just for us. We'll recognize the SATs and cheerleaders as well before the game. But it's a chance for the community to come out and show support for every senior that's been in this program, that's been valuable to this high school, been a valuable member of this community, to come recognize them and show them support. This is the last group of COVID kids.
Yeah.
They were the freshman group when we came back in. So they've been through a lot. This group's been through a lot and struggles and ups and downs and peaks and valleys. And so we want to send them out on a good note. We want the community to come out and recognize all those seniors, including band, what they do at halftime. It's a chance to honor them, because this is the memories they've made in these 4 years aren't going to go away. And the memories they've made for the community in these 4 years, whether it's with performances for band, whether it's with cheer, whether it's with winning a game that the fans got to attend, whatever it is, it's something that our community can rally around and be proud to support these seniors and venturing them off into their next journey.
Hard to believe that this is the group that came in the 2020-2021 school year. That's this group this year.
Yeah, so the senior class, their freshman year played 2 games, and that's when we had to combine our JV and freshman team because of the COVID protocols, and that was that COVID spring year. And so
feels like that wasn't that long ago to me for some reason. It's hard to believe those are the ones that are getting ready to graduate.
This is a group that's the last group to actually miss out on stuff. So it is kind of crazy that's where we were at with this class. But I love our seniors. I'm so grateful for what they've done to our program for 4 years and sticking through it, even through that spring and that tough time their freshman year, and then being so committed to what we do and being loyal to the A is very important to me. And this group has done that, and I'd love to send them off, obviously with a win, but send them off with big community support going
absolutely forward. And hopefully, I mean, there are things that whatever happens on Friday night, you guys have eyes towards hopefully playing in the postseason. So I know there's still big goals here to finish up the season.
Yeah, this game doesn't make or break us. I mean, obviously you win it, you eventually just punch your ticket and everything's done, and we're getting ready to figure out where we're going to get seated at. If not, then we're going to get focused on next week. But our entire goal is to go win on Friday night and play well and find improvements, and that's what our goal is. We want to make sure we're better when we walk off that field Friday night than we were when we stepped on it at the start of the game, and getting ready to go forward into the last district game and going into the playoffs.
All right, Coach. Good luck on Friday night.
Appreciate it, man. Go Tigers.